I bleed silver with black, and I wear it with pride. Hold my shield to the sky. I'm a raider for life. 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 I'm a raider for life.
Touchdown, Raiders! What the hell is going on, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Mikey Raider, coming to you with a post-game review. I'm doing it a little bit differently today because I got a newer computer the other day and I haven't got everything set up with my set, my photos, and everything, and it's kind of impromptu. But if you like where I just stand in front of my TV and rant and rave on my post-game reviews, let me know you like that way as well. But hey, I decided to do it on the computer today, even though I'm not set up 100% officially. I haven't had the time yet, and I'm actually naked underneath. You don't know that. I ain't got no pants on. Mikey Raider squirting to the world because we got a victory. All right, let's talk about the Raiders versus the Cleveland Browns game from yesterday from my perspective. And yes, we have been through a lot of turmoil with this team. There's the final score above. I predicted it on my pregame show a couple of days ago. Raiders would win 20-17. And I predicted everything that happened in this game in that last episode that was like 40 minutes long from my phone. Go back and watch it. I don't need to tell you all I'm the fucking guru, but I am. Okay, I know this Raider thing. And we're going to rap because the Raiders got a victory. So we're going to rap at the end of today's video. Every time the Raiders get a win, I rap. Go to my Twitter. You guys can check out my timeline. I wrote a lot of good stuff during the game. I was a little bit crunk. I drank some beer. And I had some beans. Don't ever do that again. For your gut health, don't ever have beers and beans. Done that. Don't fucking do it, okay? If you want your gut to hurt you all night and get abdominal and intestinal gas pain, drink beers and beans. Eat beans. Beers and beans is not good for you. That's all I'm going to say. That's why Mikey Raider has no pants on, because I've been shitting and burping all night and day. But that's not what you're here to. You're not here to hear my nonsense, are you? Are you here to hear my nonsense? I don't know. Let's talk about the Raiders. Go back and watch my pregame video. I explained everything that was going to happen. I said we need to establish the run. We need to run it 500 times with anybody and everybody. We needed to establish the run. Then I said players needed to step up. And I mentioned Jackson Powers Johnson needed to be the bully. And he did. Again, I'm tooting my own horn here. Whoop, whoop. Not this way. This way. This way. I knew this was a scary game. In all ways, with all the players being out. And we're going to talk about some conspiracies before the end of this video. We're going to talk about a couple of conspiracies that might be going on with the turmoil and the drama in the background. I'm not going to get into all the stats of the game and everything. But long story short, the Raiders won. Okay? The freaking Raiders won. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. We all feel good. We all feel happy momentarily. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, because that's all I can be on this channel, is we still don't look good. We have heart and emotions and pride and poise will win you a few games. But there's a lot of other variables that are creeping in. And I know we got a victory versus the Browns, but I had a lot more concerns, or a lot more things are being revealed to me after watching this game. Mikey Raider, can't you be positive? Mikey Raider, Mikey Raider, Mikey Raider. Mikey Raider, Mikey Raider, why can't you be positive, Mikey Raider? I am positive. For the most part. But the truth in life is you have to see problems before they come up. That way you have a solution for those problems. And I always look toward the future and whatever problems might be there. Because when problems arrive, people go, oh, what the hell? Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, this problem arrived. Out of nowhere. Mikey Rader's like, I knew that shit 2 months ago. That's why I packed everything for that earthquake. I prepared. I got some beef jerky. I got some fake pussies. I can go on an adventure while California is being destroyed by Governor Newsom. Okay? I prepare for this shit. And I tell you guys my thoughts, and it's up for you to understand it or not. But I'm very, very thrilled at the comeback story. I called this a gut check game. And that's what it was. It was a gut check game. Speaking of that, it was funny how I called it a gut check game on a previous video. Then I had beans and beers during the game, and my gut got really fucking checked last night. I was in bed in pain during that Sunday night football game. Man, I was thinking about going to the hospital. It was so freaking bad. But it was a gut check game. And a lot of people checked their gut and came out and did their best. And I'm talking about Antonio Pierce, talking about Luke Getchie, and I'm talking about some of the players on the field, Snowden and Max Crosby absence and all these other players. But long story short, let's just talk to the storylines of the games and see what has happened. I mentioned that Jack Jones, I did it like 3-4 days before or two or 3 days before the game on Twitter. I mentioned that Jack Jones would be benched for a while. A bit. I didn't know how long, but I knew he was going to be benched. And this will be in the Spiracy segment at the end of the show. But it came true. He was benched for the first quarter. And he played a little bit in the second and third. But to my knowledge, I did not see him in there in the fourth quarter when the game was on the line. So I think Jack Jones was benched again in the fourth quarter. In the prime time quarters of the game, in order to, you got to send them a message. Antonio Pierce sent Jack Jones a message and benched him. When asked about it in a post-game press conference, he said, oh, it doesn't matter. Next man up. The next man plays. I'm proud of this team. And why I was benched, he said, you got to talk to Antonio Pierce about that. Do you not know Jack Jones? Everybody saw the videotape. Everybody saw the tape. Do you not want to admit you didn't man up and you made business decisions during that game, Jack Jones? Come on, have some humility and man up and be like, he benched me because I deserved it. I didn't play to my full potential, and I took plays off. I deserved to get benched. Have some damn pride in it. Instead of, I don't know, man. I don't know. If you want to know why they benched me, talk to AP. Then they talked to AP at the post-game press conference, and he's like, that's between me and Jack Jones. No, it's not. No. It's public, bitch. It's public, bitch. But at least Antonio Pierce had some humility at the end of the game after getting a victory. He said we had a really tough week due to the controversies. And he goes, because of the controversy that I created in the statement of business decisions. And he goes, we had a tough week. And a lot of that was because of me. Well, at least Antonio Pierce kind of took ownership that he created a lot of that controversy. But now fucking Jack Jones can't even admit that he fucked up and didn't play so hard. Come on, man. If you're going to be a better man in life, admit to your failures, take your punishment, your admonishment like a man. That's why I have issues with Jack Jones moving forward. This guy seems to be not saying the right things, and his relationship with AP ain't getting better. Again, this is something that could get worse. AP, remember he cut a player for making business decisions a couple years back? I forgot the name of the play. Oh, Marcus Peters. Yeah. I'm not saying they're going to cut Jack Jones. I'm just hoping he mans up and starts, you know, living the truth, Start speaking the truth instead of just shying away from it. But hey, that's a story for another day. Then we got Max Crosby stayed at home during this game. A lot of people was hoping he'd be at the game. A lot of people was hoping Max Crosby would be at the game cheering on his team. But I said in the video before, I believe the Max Crosby injury is worse than we thought. And I ranted and raved about it in my live stream the other day. So I'm not going to do it much here. But he stayed home. He wasn't in the booth. He wasn't cheering on his team. But Davante Adams was on the sidelines with that questionable hamstring injury. And people say, what do you mean it's a hamstring injury? Well, do we have proof that it's torn, that it's ripped, or that it's just inflamed? Can x-rays get that proof? Or is it all off of the word of Davante Adams, that injury? You understand what I'm saying? The training staff doesn't know anything past bruises inside the body unless they get scans and MRIs. So, technically, in a conspiracy world, the Davante Adams hamstring injury has not been told to us. Is it a sprained hamstring, a tender hamstring, a ripped hamstring, a torn hamstring? Whatever the technical terms are, we don't know. We just know it's a hamstring injury. Okay? And we have to go off the word of the player. He pulls himself out and he can start limping. Hey, training staff, oh, my hamstring, it's a little tight. Oh, stay out. Stay out. Yeah, it's really tight. And then all of a sudden, hey, I can't play this week. I'm out for the game. Well, can we get some MRIs? Can we get some scans, some x-rays, whatever we need? No, not right now. I'm not saying that's what Davante did. I'm just saying we haven't heard any news of what the actual hamstring injury is, the technical terms. So those type of injuries, you have to go off what the player says and what he feels, and he tells the training staff. I'm going to leave it at that. It's interesting, okay? There's a lot of trade controversy with Davante. There's a lot of drama here and there. And again, I'm not going to deal with that till I have to. And I'm only speculating. But this is what I do. I looked at the future. I look at problems that can exist. I try to find out who's lying, who's not lying, what the actual truth behind the lies are. That's what I do. So that Davante Adams situation is interesting. Because you noticed he took himself out of the game, or he had a hamstring injury at the end of practice when there's videotape of him during the practice. And there's videotape, and then, it happened after practice, like right at the end of practice, like the last play. Okay. I mean, it happens. Like Forrest Gump said, shit happens. It's just interesting, guys. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that. Jackson Powers Johnson after the game said it was good to get out there. Antonio Pierce said he earned some more game time. And I appreciate that. And the storylines from the game are, it's like I said, we needed to establish the run, and we did. So let's talk about a little bit of stats from the game. See if I can get it on screen. I'm not going to go over the Cleveland Browns stats. I'm just going to go through the Raiders because I don't give a fuck about the Browns or any other team, even though it tells the story of what our defense did. And our defense played pretty damn well given the circumstances. Gardner Minshew did not have a good game. 14 of 24 for 130 yards, a 5-yard average, no touchdowns, no interceptions, got sacked twice for 14, had a QBR of 40, and a rating of 73. You see what I'm fucking saying, why I'm worried? I mean, you guys want me to celebrate, but these stats have me worried against the Cleveland Browns defense that was like bottom 20s this year. And they've gotten tore up by better teams. And is this Gardner Minshew's fault? Or is this offensive coordinator Luke Getsey's fault? I mean, we had 15 yards in the first quarter on offense. 15 motherfucking yards. This playbook, people want to call it Gardner, which you can. But this playbook is not getting the job done. You can blame Gardner as well. But right now I'm taking a look at our entire offense. We are not getting better. Even though the stats say we did get better in the run game. It's because they ran the ball so much this time, Mikey. That's why Gardner didn't play so good or whatever. They didn't have Devontae Adams, Mickey Raider. They didn't have Devontae Adams. Okay. All right, I'll give you 10% of that makes fucking sense. But I have some concerns, and we'll speak about it in a second. Let's look at the rushing. I told you they needed to, establish the run game, and they did. Let's talk about Zamir White first. His Forrest Gump looking ass. That's right. I think he's a little bit mentally challenged. He's a cool dude, but he runs kind of stupid sometimes. I'm just going to say that. Then he had a fumble too as well. I don't even want to talk about it. Stupid. But he was supposed to be our halfback with getting rid of Josh Jacobs. I'm pissed off we didn't get a running back now. In the draft or somewhere else. Because Zamir White, he don't have it. He is not that dude. Oh, you can blame the offensive line, Mike Raider. You can blame it. I don't know why you keep doing that. Yes, it's partially the offensive line. But look, we've had basically last year 3 or 4 games with Zamir White playing decent with that offensive line coach and that offensive line playing decent. This year with Luke Getsey and our offensive line that we got now with injuries, whatever, Zamir White doesn't have it. Yeah, he may be getting it slowly, but it's too fucking long for me to wait. You know what I'm saying? Jelly Bean, Mr. Mean. Zamir White, 17 carries. Oh, congratulations. You got more than 13 carries, thank goodness. For 50 yards for an average of 2.9. I mean, that's decent. If you gave it to him 3 times, or 4 times, that would equal 10 yards. So technically, you can get first downs with him all the time. His longest was a 17. But look at Alexander Madison's carries compared to Zamir White's 17. Alexander Madison had 5 carries for 60 yards, an average of 12, for a long of 24. Who's the better running back? Who's the better running back? Zamir White, guess what? You're fired. You're benched. Zamir, you're benched. Alexander Madison moving forward is the running back 1. It's all right there. DJ Turner had a nice sweep as they opened up the offense, and we'll talk about that in a second, with a sweep for 18 yards. Brock Bowers. I mean, I like it. I like Brock Bowers on a sweep for 12 yards. I like Tyreek McAllister coming in for whatever he did on his runs. He only had 2 carries for a better average than Zamir White. So what does that tell you? Zamir White is running like stupid. Like badly. Okay? I'm sorry. It's like Forrest Gump. Like I said on my Twitter, check it out. During the game, I wrote a funny post about Zamir White. Trey Tucker with 1 for 3. And then Gardner, getting sacked, whatever. Couldn't do anything in the run game with Gardner. But look, the stats stand out. What does that say? It says Zamir White ain't getting it done. Alexander Madison is. It also says that this week, in order to create any freaking offense, we had to do trick plays and sweeps and all this other stuff to establish the run game. Not that we can just basically run the ball, because we haven't been able to do that. But they had to open it up with sweeps and wide receivers and tight ends doing this and doing that to spread the field. That way some of these runs can go up the middle and we can get some plays with variation formations. And they did a good job. It was what was needed to open up the run game. But it tells you if we need trick plays and all these sweeps by our star fucking players, if we need sweeps and trick plays to establish the run, that means we can't fucking run. The basic running game we do not have. It is not working under offensive coordinator Luke Getsey's basic offense. We had to do sweeps and all this other stuff to establish the run game. So that's why, think about it. Doesn't mean we don't have a run game. It just means it's not there right now. And we had to do this to establish it. Now that it's established, we can see the truth of our running backs and how they're playing in this scheme by Luke Getsey. Zamir White is second string now. Alexander Madison is doing better runs even without the sweeps in previous weeks. Alexander Madison was getting it done a little bit better. So Zamir White, I'm sorry, man. Until you show it to us, and I know you show it to us at camp, but until you show it to us in a game, you're second string, Zamir. And I don't like Luke Getsey's offense. The more I'm looking at it, it's dink and dunk. It's 5 yards here, 4 yards there. They don't thread the field that much. But does Gardner have a cannon? I don't think so. Aiden O'Connell has a better cannon than Gardner. But Gardner can run the ball. If he has play action, when the run game is working, he can make some things happen. So that's what happened this week. They wanted to get play action. They wanted to establish the run game. And they kind of did for the most part, but they had to use trick plays. That's why Gardner Minshew couldn't get any runs and couldn't do that much play action. But I appreciate them for trying new things because what was working previously wasn't. But I'm really, really upset with Luke Getsey putting our star players like Brock Bowers on sweeps or run plays. Even one fucking time they can get injured, hit in the backfield because they're not running backs. Brock Bowers was one of the only stars we had on the field. Technically, our rookie star. And you put him in the hindsight of possible injury on a run play. I know Brock can do it all if he's asked to do it. But that should have never been a play. I'm happy it worked out. It makes Brock Bowers look even more athletic and better than we already know how he is good. But come on. You don't do that to Brock Bowers. You don't do that to Brock Bowers. Just like, remember when they did it with Davante Adams last year with a different offensive coordinator? You don't do that shit to your star players. Trey Tucker, Tyreek McAllister, DJ Turner, they're built for that shit. Those are the MFers that run speed and do that stuff. That's why you pick them. But hey, they were trying out formations. So now the future teams are going to watch these formations. And they're going to be, this might be a Brock Bowers run or a DJ Turner sweep. So then it'll enable us to run a little bit more up the middle because teams are going to watch the film and see all these formations and they're going to not know what we're doing. So it might help the run game a little bit more in the future. So I understand it from that perspective. But do it with every player besides Brock Bowers. You feel me, motherfuckers? I'm going to leave it at that. Now, let's look at the wide receiver passes. And I said it in the video the other day. I said the truth. I said, this might be a better game for Gardner Minshew with Davante Adams out. Because Davante Adams is a diva. I mean, he is. I love the guy. He's one of the GOATs. I appreciate that, everything. The Raiders did him wrong the way everything has happened. If he's traded, he's traded. If he dies, he dies from Rocky. If he's traded, he's traded. The Raiders did him wrong, and I feel really bad for him because it's not working out the way they planned with getting rid of Carr and this and that. It's just sabotage. It's fucking sabotage. But I said Gardner Minshew might play better without Devontae on the field because now in the back of Gardner's head, he doesn't have to throw the ball and give Devontae targets like he wants as a diva wide receiver. So now Gardner can focus on other players in the layout and different targets, and he did that. He did exactly what I thought. Why it might have been better, not long term, at least for this game or a couple of games or however long Devontae's out. It's better for Gardner Minshew at this early stage in his development with the Raiders under this system. It's better for him not to have a diva wide receiver asking for the ball and being wide receiver number one all the freaking time. Gardner needs to sling the rock to different people and figure out the system. And that's what he did. He spread the ball around and he looked for other receivers. So in that way, I'm happy Devontae was out. Okay? Just for the possible development of Gardner. But again, how big did he develop this week? I don't know. Didn't look that good in the stats. But maybe next week, he's got a clearer picture of Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Harrison Bryant, DJ Turner, etc., so on and so forth. And a belief in them besides only Devontae. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. So Jacoby Myers, I thought he'd be the number one in this offense this week. And I thought he'd have a bigger day. But again, we established the run game more so, which is fine. But Jacoby Myers had 5 receptions, 49 yards for an average of close to 10 with a long of 19. But he had 10 targets. So those are missed throws or drops or whatever. 5 drops. So he's got a 50% ratio. You need that to be in the 70% ratio. That's very scary. Trey Tucker, 5 receptions, 41 yards, 8.2 average, long of 14 on 6 targets. So he caught like 85% or 90% with Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker's coming into his own. I appreciate what the kid's doing. He is trying to make a name for himself in this league. But I do hate that he seems to only be on the long bombs more so than going across the middle. I want a speedy receiver like that to go across the middle a little bit more than I've been seeing from him. Take some of that stuff away from Devontae because we all know Devontae doesn't want to do that. So unfortunately, with Devontae not wanting to go across the middle and get hospital balls, you're gonna have to move that to Jacoby and Trey and other wide receivers. Harrison Bryant came in there, 2 receptions, 21 yards, long of 14 on 2 targets. Brock Bowers, I can't believe he wasn't targeted much more, especially in the run game and with quick dump offs. You would figure that would be a tight end game, but we did lose Michael Mayer, and they do have a chemistry together. And they had to put some different play calls in for Harrison Bryant, to partner with Brock Bowers. But this should have been a Brock Bowers game where he did more in the receiving. Again, there's something that's got to be looked at there. They were trying to get Brock Bowers the ball, so they even put him on a run play that we just talked about. I don't know. It's got to get better. Even with the absence of Michael Mayer or anybody, Brock Bowers should not have 2 catches in a game for 19 yards. And the longest one was 13. So that means the other one was a 5-yard pass or whatever. And he had 3 targets. He had a big drop in the game. I remember that drop. That would have added another 20, 30 yards to him. Sorry about my voice. DJ Turner, he was supposed to step up. He didn't. It didn't happen. 1 target for him, Alexander Madison, 1 target, no running backs out of the backfield. What's going on there? Our entire run game and everything associated with it is not the best right now. Even the receiving and the passing out of the run game. Play action, whatever you call it. Our game is like within a 7-yard box. That's all we have. We really don't have anything besides a 7-yard box. Gardner Minshew only throws it 6 or 7 yards, and it's just, there's not much big plays. There's not much big plays. So that shows why we needed in the run game some creativity. Now, this coming week, we need some fucking creativity in the pass game. We need some creativity in the pass game. I mean, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I was never a fan of Gruden as a coach. But that motherfucker knows creation, and he knows how to make players better than they are. Nelson Aguilar, Zay Jones. He schemed up motherfucking plays for these people. Luke Getsy has not proven it. He got fired from Chicago. He is not scheming up plays for certain players. He's sticking with his offense and his system, and he might be adding a trick play here or there, but he is not scheming a new system for certain players. He is not scheming new plays like Gruden does. Gruden has a YouTube channel where he's going over games. He's like, hey, I would put this man in this motion right here. I would do it for this week versus the Cleveland Browns. I would put, Trey Tucker on a Z White 85 Alpha. I would have Devontae coming here if he's playing. I'd have Brock Bowers moving out in a tight end cross, and I'd make Gardner Minshew fake it and run. That's what Gruden does, okay? Luke Getsy is like a stalemate. He's like a pawn. Here, we're going to run the ball up the middle. We're going to run the ball to the left. We're going to run the ball to the right. We're going to throw the ball across the middle on a cross route. We're going to throw an out pattern zone to the out pattern. Oh, the run game ain't working. All right, let's run a sweep. It's a classic NFL play. Let's run a sweep with Alexander Madison or Brock Bowers or Trey Tucker. Oh, the sweep didn't work. All right, now I guess we got to go to Brock Bowers on a 5-yard end to get 5 yards on second down. So hopefully it's only third down and 3 or 4 or 5. We don't want third and long. I'm Luke Getsy. Oh, shit, Antonio Pierce is walking toward me. What do you need, Antonio? Can we open up the fucking offense? Can we do that? You don't need to yell, Antonio. You need to start playing. Put the players in the best position. Put the players in the best position. We want to smoke our shit, talk our shit. Luke Getsy. If not, you're going to go in the box. We're going to put your ass up in the fucking box. So hopefully you can see the game better. I don't want to go in the box. I don't like being in the box. I like being on the field. I don't give a damn, Luke Getsy. Fix your shit. Remember that meme? All right, guys. So those are my concerns for the offense. Maybe you guys can see it. Maybe you don't. So we didn't get much better in this week's game. I'm just being honest with you guys. We didn't get much better in this week's game. We got a victory, which was heart, pride, and poise. But we can't keep living off pride and poise off of that for this team. We can't keep living off that. Okay? We just can't keep doing it. This up and down bullshit, it's not going to work good. All right. Tom Telesco did not bring anybody in free agencies with all these big injuries of name value that I know can help this team, lead this team. He has not brought those players in replacements for any of these injured people. Why? Because he's saving money for Mark Davis. We can talk about that on another video. Here's the total cap space. Apparently they got close to $28 million in cap space. And, I mean, there's so many injuries around the league. Why can't you go out and put your faith in one of these players that cost a couple of $1 million a year and just test it out? I mean, it can't hurt. It can't hurt. Spend your dollars, bro, while you got them. Spend your dollars while you got them. Well, they're saving for next year, my curator. The NFL makes you spend, I think, like 85% of your salary cap every season. And that's right where the Raiders are at. Like, they have to spend 85% of their salary cap every 2 years or however it works, the math. It just boggles my mind because there's some players out there. We should take a look. Maybe do it on another video. We should take a look at some players that are out there. in replacement. But hey, the young players stepped up this game, like Charles Snowden, stuff like that, and I appreciate that, and some of that other stuff. Okay, I really, really do. That being said, I don't got nothing more to say about the game except we got a victory. It was a nice pride and poise game, and it's good to feel a victory for the Raider Nation. But as a football team, I got a lot of fears. I don't see us winning a lot more unless we start to improve. And I hope we can improve because I just laid out some of the issues that are going on this early. And we got some teams that we should be able to beat and compete with coming up. But if every game is going to be like this game, we're probably going to lose 50% of them because luck is not always going to be on the Raiders' side. Let's be honest. We got lucky in this game. What are you talking about, Mickey Raider? How did we get lucky? We got lucky in this motherfucking game to win it. Okay? We got lucky that Deshaun Watson is too busy getting massages by hookers. Or, I'm not. My massage therapists that also become hookers. Allegedly. They had the ball at the end of the game. And they were driving down the field when it was 20-16. They were like on the 30, 40-yard line. 35-yard line. 30-yard line. 25, whatever yard line it was. They had 4 downs. Then, thank goodness, Patrick Graham had the day of his life as the defensive coordinator, and he brought the motherfucking house on 3 or 4 plays in a row with time running on the clock. When they were in field goal range, but they needed a touchdown to win. Patrick Graham brought the house. Whatever players were on the field, they stepped up. They came in. He brought the house. He brought so many people that if Deshaun Watson had any ounce of talent and ability that he had in previous years, he would have whooped us. Knowing the blitz is coming, he would have found open wide receivers like nothing. Because we probably brought 7 players on a blitz. There were spaces for Deshaun Watson to throw the ball if he had any talent. He's lost it. He's lost it. So thank goodness for that. Plus, Amari Cooper had a bad day, had some drops, was getting hit. He was a little bit afraid. It wasn't happening. But like I said, we got lucky. People could say we didn't get lucky, it was skills. Whatever you want to think, it's either or. But Patrick Graham knew he had to bring the house, and he had to end the game then. And he had to stop Deshaun Watson from making any plays with his feet, which technically he said he doesn't want to run unless he has to. So that was a good thing. So we brought the house. Blitzed like 7 people every time, 3, 4 times in a row. And they worked. Then on that final play, did it again. And it worked because Deshaun Watson was too stupid enough to realize that he had talent back in the days before he got rub downs and all this controversy happened. I mean, we won the game. They also gave it to us. And in normal Raider history, by probably this year, any other team would win against our defense in that same position. Any other quarterback, any other team. Even though we did a good game plan, and it was all the right calls by Patrick Graham being aggressive, because that's what he was doing. Again, a quarterback and a team with a little bit more talent than Cleveland has would beat us. Like the Panthers did with Sam Darnold. And they beat us good. So, we're going to have a lot more close games like this in the future. And our offense is not even able to score more than 20 points pretty much again this year. And it's scary. It's scary to think. It's really, really scary to think. Bring Gruden back in as the offensive coordinator. Can you do that, Mark Davis? I would really, really like that. He needs a job. But that being said, I mean, we beat the Cleveland Browns. We're now 2-2. It's a fantastic feeling. We got the Denver Broncos coming in. They got a rookie quarterback and they're struggling, but their defense is top notch. Top notch. Even way better than the Browns defense, and that was a close. I mean, than the Ravens defense, that was a close game for us. Even better than the Browns defense, that was a close game for us. Even better than the Panthers defense, and they crushed us. The Broncos got a defense, and we're going to their stadium with the high altitude and the weather. I know their rookie quarterback and their young quarterback, he's not the best. And we can handle some stuff against them. But it's going to be another tight one. I'll give you my preview in a couple of days. That being said, please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of this channel for future and exclusive content. And please call the Raider Rants hotline. Leave a voice message for future games or whatever. Leave your rants. Leave your opinions. I promise I'm going to be getting back to my show. We're going to have your voicemails online in the coming weeks. Also, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know. And if you feel like donating, supporting, becoming a member of the channel, all information is down below. I appreciate you. God bless. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay Raider. And guess what? We got to rap. Because I rap every time the Raiders get a victory. So, let's just start with the word beans. Because I had beers and beans. What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy here to talk about beers and beans. No ploy. Everybody knows we're in it to win it, but I had gas last night, and I went to get in it. I went into the bathroom thinking of shit. Then I realized the Raiders' offensive coordinator is shit, and all we know is that we didn't do a good. Let me start again. I don't like the way that one goes. Yo, Raider Nation, what's up? The Raiders are here, and we're about to tear it up. We had a little tough here and go. We got a victory versus the Browns, don't you know? Everybody knows that we got heart and poise, but we're struggling here and there with the Raiders and their boys. What's going on? What's going wild? Everybody knows Raider Nation is styled. Antonio Pierce is cheering the squad, smoking cigars in the locker room. All a laud. I made up that name because I don't really care. I'm a Raider for life, baby. Stop your freaking stares. If you want to be a hater, then you're not a freaking Raider. If you want to be a hater, then you're not my Raider. It ain't the best rap, y'all. It doesn't matter. Thank you guys for chiming in. Thank you guys for let me know your thoughts on the game below if you appreciated any of my comments, any of my stuff. And some more future videos once I figure my shut out and my stage and everything. And appreciate you guys. God bless. Good health. And a shout out to everybody out there that's been a fan of mine and Raider Central for years. I love y'all. Can't do it without you. Sometimes I want to give up. Literally making videos because I hardly make any income. Sometimes I just want to give up. But you guys are my strength because you know really who I am. People that call me not a Raider, not an OG, not a this. Oh, you're a hater because I'm negative and I have negative thoughts. You're full of shit. You're a sheep. To the real fans, the friends of mine, I love y'all. God bless. And I'll see ya soon. God, that rap sucked. Just wasn't feeling it. It was all the beans and beer. Sorry.